Welcome to Arise United Devils. In today's news, Manchester United release statement on Antony over assault allegations. Manchester United have released a statement acknowledging the allegations made against Antony, with investigations into the claims of assault made by his former girlfriend taking place in England and Brazil. The alleged victim, Gabriela Cavallin, gave an interview to Brazilian website UOL on Monday detailing the allegations, which includes photographs and screenshots of messages. Cavallin has claimed she was headbutted and punched by Antony in a hotel room in Manchester the day after the 2-1 win against Manchester City on January 14, which is being investigated by Greater Manchester Police. She also claims she suffered a cut to her finger during an incident on May 8. The issue is also being looked at by Sao Paulo Civil Police in Brazil. United broke their silence on the matter with a statement on Wednesday but said they were awaiting further information. It said, Manchester United acknowledges the allegations made against Antony and notes that the police are conducting inquiries. Pending further information, the club will be making no further comments. As a club, we are taking this matter seriously, with consideration of the impact of these allegations and subsequent reporting will have on survivors of abuse. United refused to confirm whether Antony would remain available for selection, but it is expected he will still be a part of Erik ten Hag's squad for now. The pressure has built on United after the Brazilian Football Confederation, CBF, dropped the 23-year-old from the Brazil squad for this week's World Cup qualifiers against Bolivia and Peru. The club had previously pointed to the player's own denials on social media when asked if they wished to comment. The CBF released their own statement on Monday, which read, "Due to the facts that became public this Monday involving Manchester United player Antony, and which need to be investigated, and in order to safeguard the alleged victim, the player, the Brazilian team and the CBF, the organization informs that the athlete has been withdrawn from the Brazilian team." On a more cheering news, Manchester United receive Lisandro Martinez injury boost after scare against Arsenal. Lisandro Martinez is back in full training with Argentina after leaving the pitch early in Manchester United's game against Arsenal. Martinez started at the Emirates to face the Gunners last weekend, but with the scoreline delicately poised at 1-1, he was replaced in the 67th minute of the game by Harry Maguire because he appeared to have discomfort in his foot. Victor Lindelof was also subsequently brought off, which meant Maguire and Johnny Evans finished the match at centre-back. There's currently a mounting injury crisis at Old Trafford, and United supporters feared a layoff for Martinez when he was substituted. Erik ten Hag was asked for an update after the defeat and said, "Licha said he had a problem on his foot. But I'm not sure if it's an injury. We have to wait, we have to see, we have to make the diagnosis." The player has since joined up with Argentina for international duty and taken part in full team training, showing he's injury-free. Although Martinez and Rafael Varane are the first-choice centre-backs at the club, the latter has a poor record with injury and he picked up an issue against Nottingham Forest that is expected to have him sidelined for a few weeks. Varane retired from international football in February and he's currently undergoing rehabilitation at Carrington. Martinez could play for Argentina in their games against Ecuador and Bolivia during the break. United's next fixture sees them host Brighton on Saturday, September 16, as they aim to bounce back from their defeat to Arsenal. In similar news, Denmark boss gives Manchester United fitness update on Rasmus Højlund. Denmark head coach Kasper Hjulmand says Rasmus Højlund looks like himself again and believes he is in good condition as he prepares to face San Marino and Finland in this week's Euro 2024 qualifiers. The attacker made his Manchester United debut against Arsenal on Sunday, having missed the first 3 games amid his recovery from a back injury. Højlund, who currently tops the Euro 2024 qualifying goal-scoring chart with 6 goals, has insisted he is now ready to go, full throttle, from here on. Højlund played more than half an hour in the 3-1 defeat to Arsenal following lengthy stoppage time at the end of the game, during which the Gunners scored twice. The striker replaced Anthony Martial on 67 minutes and gave a good first impression to the travelling contingent. He will be looking to get back to his best form against Minnows San Marino and Scandinavian rivals Finland, against whom he scored a hat-trick in March. National team boss Hjulmand says he does not have any fitness concerns about his striker. Speaking to Bold.dk, he said, "I was over at Manchester United a week ago, where I saw 2 training sessions, and I saw the Rasmus I know. He has never felt anything. So they have been very conservative and cautious with him. But he looks like himself, and I think his jump in was convincing." He started by smashing into a centre-back and he made his mark on the game in the minutes he played. Now there was 15 minutes of overtime, so he got a little more than they had expected. It looked fine and he is in good shape. On a heartwarming note, Manchester United star Ahmad shares encouraging 3-word injury update. Ahmad has indicated he is working his way back up to full fitness as he recovers from a knee injury suffered in preseason. The attacker was seen on crutches at New Jersey's MetLife Stadium after being forced off with the issue during Manchester United's friendly win over Arsenal. He was seen holding his ankle upon sustaining his injury, but the club said it is a knee injury that has kept him out of the first part of the season. Ahmad showed promise in preseason after a fine year on loan at Sunderland. The Ivorian netted 14 goals and recorded 4 assists in 42 matches as he helped the Black Cats reach the Championship playoff semi-finals. Ahmad took to Instagram shortly after his setback to say he had feared the worst, but that the issue was nothing serious, pledging to come back stronger. The 21-year-old has now posted another update as he continues his rehabilitation. Taking to Instagram again, Ahmad posted a photograph of himself in a mirror wearing United training gear along with another smaller photo showing a picture of his knee. He included the caption, "Step by step." Ahmad has played 9 senior competitive games for United, and scored against AC Milan in the Europa League back in March 2021, although hasn't played for his parent club since the following December. His form for Sunderland last season was so impressive that boss Tony Mowbray urged United not to recall him amid United's striker woes. Ahmad will be hoping to be given a chance to showcase his class and cement his place in the first team once back fit, with Antony struggling to live up to his £85 million price tag on the wing. In another development, Manchester United's Sofyan Amrabat explains why he wanted to play under Erik ten Hag again. New Manchester United signing Sofyan Amrabat has hailed Erik ten Hag's mentality and believes he will thrive under his former boss. The Moroccan worked under the Reds manager at FC Utrecht in the Eredivisie between 2015 and 2017 and says he was keen to reunite. Ten Hag was equally eager to bring in the midfield pivot, having held an interest in the player for some time. United approached Fiorentina in January to inquire about Amrabat, who had enjoyed a successful World Cup, amid a long-term ankle injury to Christian Eriksen, but were told no. United instead acquired Marcel Sabitzer on loan from Bayern Munich. But Ten Hag now has his man, again on a loan that has cost United an initial €10 million. The Reds have the option of making his move permanent for the sum of €20 million plus €5 million in add-ons next summer. Amrabat has now explained why he himself was itching to join back up with the Dutch taskmaster. "It's fantastic because I think Erik ten Hag is a coach who will push always to the limit," Amrabat told club media. "He's hungry. He wants to win. He's a winner and I like that. I think I'm also similar. I'm also a winner. I want to win every day, so it's a good match." When asked what are his best assets, Amrabat added, "I don't like to speak about myself. I want to show it on the pitch, but I can promise that I will give my best with everything. Every day, every minute, every second. So, it is the only thing that I can say now." In a new development, Manchester United open contract talks with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Manchester United have reportedly entered discussions with Aaron Wan-Bissaka regarding a new contract after an impressive year. The fullback only played 4 minutes of action prior to the World Cup break last season, having also dealt with injury during his time away from the pitch. But an astonishing comeback has seen him become Erik ten Hag's first choice right back ahead of Diogo Dalot, who played every game he was available for prior to the World Cup. Wan-Bissaka's rising form has prompted United to enter talks over a new contract. The English defender is in the final 12 months of his 5-year deal signed upon his arrival in 2019. The club have the option to trigger a year-long extension in his present contract but are apparently looking to tie him down to a longer deal. It denotes an incredible turnaround for Wan-Bissaka, who was offered to clubs for sale last summer, with no suitable takers. Meanwhile, there are reports that Ten Hag chose to keep hold of Jadon Sancho over the summer despite interest from Aston Villa and Tottenham. The winger potentially faces disciplinary action for his social media statement on Sunday evening, in which he batted against Ten Hag's claims of poor training levels amid his absence from the matchday squad against Arsenal. There are suggestions that Ten Hag did initially see Sancho in his plans after waving off summer interest from Premier League rivals despite his recent unhappiness over the England international's training standards. Furthermore, on transfers, Rasmus Højlund makes Manchester United transfer admission and confirms other clubs showed interest. Rasmus Højlund has confirmed a number of clubs were interested in signing him this summer but says his eyes were only set on Manchester United. The striker came off the bench for his debut in Sunday's 3-1 defeat to Arsenal after missing the first 3 matches due to a back stress fracture. Højlund was the answer to Erik ten Hag's summer hunt for a striker, arriving for an initial £64 million with the deal potentially rising to £72 million. Højlund hit the headlines back in March when he scored 5 goals in 2 Denmark matches before finishing the campaign with 16 goals for Atalanta. He has been called up for his country again for the imminent Euro 2024 qualifiers against San Marino and Finland. Højlund was on Ten Hag's list of potential striker targets back in March, although Harry Kane, now of Bayern Munich, was the initial top target. When it became apparent Tottenham chief Daniel Levy was going to play hardball with United, attention turned to Højlund. And as for the player, there was only one destination he wanted to move to despite interest from other clubs. Speaking to Danish media ahead of the upcoming national team games, Højlund said, "There was a lot of interest, but for me Manchester United has always been the first priority. The interest and many of these rumors happened early in the period when I made my breakthrough in the national team. Since then there has been a nice dialogue, and then something happens when the window opens, where it really gets going." Asked for the details of his transfer dealings this summer, both regarding United and elsewhere, Højlund replied, "I would rather keep it to myself. But an interest arises, and then the clubs start negotiating, and I myself start talking to the club about how the contract should look." On other subjects, it is claimed that Jadon Sancho contract clause was rejected by Borussia Dortmund in transfer to Manchester United. 3 years after joining Manchester United in a blockbuster £73 million deal, Jadon Sancho's long-term future at the club is seemingly in jeopardy. The England winger has struggled to emulate his dazzling Bundesliga returns in the Premier League and was left out of the squad which travelled to Arsenal at the weekend by Erik ten Hag, who cited the forward's poor performances in training whilst explaining his absence. Sancho instantly hit back at ten Hag on social media by dismissing the Dutchman's claims, declaring he had been made a scapegoat for too long. Unsurprisingly, those rash remarks have not gone down well at Old Trafford, with ten Hag now understood to be mulling over his next move. Unfortunately, this public spat with ten Hag is the latest chapter in what has been a relatively underwhelming stint at Manchester United for Sancho. The 23-year-old arrived on these shores with his stock at an all-time high following a highly productive 4-year stint in Germany with Dortmund, who were paid a handsome sum for his services. The Red Devils finally got their man after lengthy negotiations with the German giants who, tellingly, rejected what they deemed to be unrealistic add-on clauses. This included a Ballon d'Or clause, an add-on which would have triggered a further payment to Dortmund should Sancho be included in the top 3 contenders for the coveted award. Dortmund's reluctance to entertain such clauses may have been an indicator that they had doubts Sancho's performances in the Bundesliga would translate into further success at Old Trafford. The winger has scored just 12 goals in all competitions since leaving Dortmund and has also dropped off the radar for England. Reports earlier this week indicated that Sancho's timekeeping issues are a concern for both club and country, a problem that has plagued him throughout his fledgling career. Former Manchester United defender Rio Ferdinand hinted that there may be no way back for Sancho on his 5 YouTube channel. He said, "There's no way Jadon is putting out a statement like that if he hasn't in his own eyes performed well. That's the difference as well. On his chart, Jadon might think, I've trained all right, but the manager might have a different standard. There's 2 ways this ends. There's only one window open now and that's Saudi. Or you're on the bench or not getting in the squad for the rest of the season." On a final note, Manchester United deny claims they helped cover up allegations Antony assaulted ex-girlfriend. Manchester United have categorically dismissed claims they attempted to cover up allegations that Antony attacked his ex-girlfriend in a hotel. Gabriella Cavallin alleges Antony, 23, headbutted and punched her in a hotel room on January 14 of this year, the day after a Premier League game against Manchester City. She claims to have suffered a cut to her head and a damaged breast implant. Antony has issued a statement on social media denying the allegations and confirmed he has given a testimony to police. Cavallin has now claimed that United dispatched a player support officer to the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Manchester, where she alleges Antony assaulted her. Her legal team then claimed that a club doctor was called to assess her so that she would not visit a public hospital. In response to the accusations, United insists, any suggestion that the club covered up these allegations is categorically false. It is understood that a member of United's club staff did arrange for a private doctor to visit the individual. However, it is claimed that there was no indication the injuries were the result of any form of violence, while arranging a doctor for partners and family members of players is a common and standard task. United insist they were only made aware of any allegations when they appeared in Brazilian media in June and are waiting for police to establish the facts of the case. However, Antony insists that he has been falsely accused, and that his family have suffered in silence due to the allegations. He stated he's never been through a situation similar to this one, and that justice will prevail once the case is closed. Fans, should Antony be given an immediate suspension by the club? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Till next time, thank you for watching.